proceedings here at the NALS Conference 2016 is Daniel Ramsay, Industry Manager at Google. It's great to have you here today, Daniel.
Brilliant to be here.
And I was very amused because your presentation is called the F word, and thankfully it's nothing to do with industry fees.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking
Sure,
about.
yeah, it does seem quite timely to call it the F word, but this is not fees. This is a presentation about how to create a frictionless customer experience. So, you know, one of the things that we advocate to our clients at Google is to think about how to blend the online and offline world. Because ultimately, if you provide the best experience for someone, no matter whether they're coming to you online and then, you know, transacting with you offline, or however they might transact with you, the best customer experience is ultimately going to win. And what I'm going to talk about today is how you create that experience, how you create the best customer experience, and how you blend the online and offline world. And hopefully give everyone in the conference some tips and some guidance on how to navigate this, and then go away and think about how to build a customer experience that really builds their growth in their business.
Well, I mean, that sounds fantastic because there is a difference between customer service and customer experience. And I think that businesses have to focus on the latter now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, when you don't necessarily have, you know, a person to speak to, an individual to speak to, actually thinking about how you provide an experience using technology is a very different kind of situation to where we used to be when it was all about just individuals. But the one thing, actually one of the crucial messages that I really want to learn today is that probably in this sector, people do understand what their customers are looking for, and to not forget that. So, you know, while there's all sorts of technology and all sorts of principles out there to create a really strong customer experience, fundamentally this is about people, and that's never changed. And so actually I think what letting agents can really think about very carefully is what they know about their customer. If that customer is landlords, for example, what are those landlords looking for? What's their intention? And how do they provide content and then an experience that satisfies that intent? And I guess that's what I'm here to hopefully help people understand a bit more about today.
Indeed, and video, I believe, is you're going to say, and we agree, is obviously a massive prime mover on the social web.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen huge growth in video consumption in recent years, and I guess that's, you know, no surprise given audiovisual's always been one of the strongest mediums to communicate through. I guess what's changed things is how accessible video is, and also what's changed it is, you know, there are now the ability to create video for different intentions. One of the things I'm going to talk about today are the micro moments that people have. And these are the kind of need to know moments. These are the want to buy moments or want to go moments. And actually video can provide information within those moments very easily. And now, given video can be served across all sorts of platforms, from your mobile device to your desktop device to whatever you might be accessing your going online with, then ultimately, you know, video is a very kind of adaptable medium and can be used for all of those moments.
But what businesses have to remember is that the younger generation are digital natives. They're expecting this type of technology in their customer experience, aren't they?
Absolutely, and I think the key word you used was expectation. And actually, I wouldn't link that only to a younger generation. You know, my mother-in-law, who's just gone 70 now, you know, she's on her iPad and she's kind of, you know, watching videos on YouTube, and it's all become second nature to her now. So it is a big expectation for her, for example, to be able to access the information she wants right now on whatever device she's on. So actually, I think from that point of view, the expectations have changed. You're absolutely right, but I think they've changed generally across the whole population. And I think from the perspective of a landlord and from a letting agent, you know, people might expect an experience with a retailer or, you know, a food delivery company. And actually, that expectation will be transferred to every business they then interact with. So you're absolutely right. The expectations have grown, and they've been grown by some of these, you know, service businesses which are doing, you know, extremely well at the moment. And now I think landlords and letting agents actually need to really consider that carefully and what that means for them.
No, I absolutely, totally agree. A lot of agents say, you know, I'm very busy, I don't have time to create video
Yeah.
content, but
Yeah.
to my mind and from our experience, it really is just building it into your daily routine and seeing content in everything you do. If you have, for instance, a landlord come in to your office and say, oh, thank you so much for what you've done, you've made my landlord experience brilliantly, grab a camera.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the access to the technology has become much easier. You can now get very high quality video produced for very low cost. And you're absolutely right. I think it's more about a mindset. It's more about thinking what content can we capture and what can we produce very easily. And actually, one of Google's principles is to kind of be a bit scrappy about things. The most important thing is to capture something, do it very quickly, and get it out to your users very quickly to see whether it performs. If it doesn't, can it move on to the next thing? So actually, I think we're all in that world where we have to learn. No matter if we're coming from a business which is in an environment that isn't online and we're moving to an online business. Then ultimately we're all in a situation where we learn. And people might look at Google and think, well, you've started as a digital business, so you know everything. We did start as a digital business, but we had to learn it as we went along, and actually we're still doing that right now. And actually, I think some of that culture that we really value, I think other businesses could really learn from, and that is don't think you've got to get it right first time. It's just start producing, start getting it online. You can always, delete it if you're not happy with it in the future. And, as you go, you'll learn, you'll improve your skills, you'll get better and better and better. So I think, if you're faced with that situation where it feels a little bit overwhelming, I think the best thing to do is just get started.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, access to this kind of technology is much lower cost now, and a lot of it's just about the mindset to go out and do it.
And just to finish, Daniel, Google is now favouring video content in the search algorithms as well, isn't it? Much more so and increasingly so.
Well, so the search algorithm essentially values content in relation to a user's intent. And what we're trying to do is ensure that users have the best the best experience online that they possibly can. So we do think about what type of content is on a site, and the algorithm does take that into account. But it doesn't necessarily mean that having video content in your site is going to outweigh text content. It really depends on the user's intent, the quality of the landing page, and that all goes into our algorithm to then work out how high up in the rankings a site is listed. But you're absolutely right. Playing around with content, having a range of content on your site is likely to give your users a better experience, which is likely to mean that you get more people coming to your site, which is likely to have a strong impact on where you rank.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those insights, and thank you very much for your contribution here today at the NALS conference. It's really great to have you here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.